Hi guys, and welcome to the YB Normal Gaming Network. This is the P.A.D series, the Puzzles of Dragons series, which we have been doing for a while. Basically, we're going through the whole entire game of the P.A.D and explaining in detail how the different options, the different sections of it, just to kind of give people that are new to the game a better understanding of how the game works, because I've been only playing for probably about a year or so, and there are a lot of things that they implement in the game that are just sometimes a little bit confusing. One of the things I do find about Puzzles and Dragons, P.A.D, is that they add new things to the game constantly. It's one of the most addictive games that I've ever played, where most games you just kind of end up doing the same thing over and over. They actually do spend their time on listening to what you have to say and implementing the stuff that you've requested. So with that said, let's jump into the game here. For all you guys that are new to my channel, like, love, and subscribe. Subscribe just so you can see some of the, and be notified of some of the new stuff that we the videos that we post. We try to do something new every week, so that this way we can kind of go through this thing in detail. But you know, sometimes we get a little bit busy and it gets a little hard. One of the things you'll notice every time you start the game is that you'll end up getting a notification for all new mail messages, which is a section that we will go into detail when the time comes. So one of my messages is basically one of my friends wants to be one of the guys there wants to be a friend with me, so let's go ahead and accept his friend request. With that said, so we're going to be going through the bottom portion here. Last video we did a dungeons video, so free to go ahead, and I'll put the link to the dungeon video in the section below. Check out some of my other videos on there. Today we're going to be looking at the monster box section. So one of the things I like to do is I like to start off every single video off by showing off my user ID. Here's my user ID, which is also part of the show notes. Feel and add me, become my friend. We'll play some games together. I'll use your character. I will be doing a lot of free things for a couple of my guys out there that are watching. So keep watching the videos. Once we get down to the trade option in this game, we'll be actually going through the monster box and allowing you to pick some of the guys that you would like just to trade for you, or trade with you. So once again, add my ID to your game and we'll become friends and play some games together. With all that stuff being said and done, let's go ahead and jump into today's section, which I'm sure you guys are all excited and just dying to hear about. We're going to be talking about the monster section. So this is the monster tab, and basically we're going to go through all these parts of the monster tab. We'll work from the bottom to the top just because it's a lot easier that way. You get an understanding of what the monster box is all about, and then we can explain some of the other sections of the monster box. So this is the monster section. The first one is the monster box. The monster box is probably the easiest one of them all. Click on it, and basically what it does is it just shows you all your characters that you have. Now you'll notice at the very bottom of the monster box you have some options. So you have the monster box here, you have the back button, which will bring me back out of the monster box. Then you have a thing here that says order. The order section basically just sets my monsters in my box by a specific order that I've chosen, and you can change the order right here by change order. So when you click on change order, you have different types of orders you can have. You can sort your guys by favorites, by character, by fuse number, by their attack, being the higher guy with a higher attack at the top, HP, higher HP at the top, RCV, higher RCV at the top, level, cost being the cost to have the character be part of your team, which we'll end up seeing later on today. Rare, how rare they are. They also have a different type of ATT. We have a type here. We have pluses by sub A, assistance, awakens. I'll move my face out of the way. Monster points, skills, and experience values. So we'll play with a bunch of these today. So that's your sort. So what you can also do is you can change them. First priority, second priority, third priority, fourth priority, fifth priority. Right? So first priority I got is set to my attack. I can change that. If I don't want my attack to be my first priority, I can have them change my char, my character number. Like so, the char would actually be the character in the order that you received your characters. So like I said, we're going to be playing with all this today. We're going to leave it on the attack, and then we can have, if I want to have this in use for my for sorting it, or not in use. Another section you have is to filter. So we can filter using types. We can also filter, we can have it including as a subtype. So do I want these to be a red fire as a first type and fire as a subtype as well? Or not? I can choose all of them if I want. These might have to keep them off. And then we have a different type. So that's your actual like type here, like fire, water, grass, light, dark. And then at the bottom you have another section of types down here. These are other types to the character, which we'll be explaining as well. You know, your attack type and your regular types. Alright? You also have awakens. And like I said, we'll be playing with a lot of this stuff. And we have your special sorting. Alright? So let's come out of this section here, and we're going to be sorting by just regular favorite. So with that here, this is my box, and right underneath your box you'll see these tabs here. This is a not sort, and these are my special boxes, and then we have 3 other boxes. This tab here is only available when you get to a certain level, and then even when that one becomes available at a certain level, you have to actually add it by going into the other section, and then you're going to go to options, system, and then manage boxes. So if I turn this off and I also go back to my monster box, the tab is gone. So it just kind of lays everybody out straight. I personally like that option of having it on, because then it gives me a way of sorting my characters out a little bit more easier for me to see. So like I said, there's all my characters sorted in a favorites manner. And favorites, you'll notice, are these little flags on the characters. So if I click on a character, let's go click on this character, right? And let's go and check info on the character. Right in the corner, you will see a little flag which can go on and off, right? When this is on, that makes him my favorite, pushing him to the top of my list when sorting by favorites. I usually sort by favorites, and if you notice, I keep all the guys at the top in favorites. The reason I do this, and this is the way I do it, everybody does it differently, I put all the guys that I'm working on, I'm leveling them up, or I'm trying to evolve them, or anything, I keep them in my favorites tab. So you'll see my favorite stops right here at purple, and then everybody else is not favorites. That's just the way I do my box, and I find it easier this way. So whenever I gotta look and see, okay, today's dungeon is gonna be using the red dragons. I'm collecting a bunch of red dragons. Who should I be leveling up? And I can look right here and say, okay, these are the guys that are all red that I'm working on right now. And I would automatically go straight down to this guy, because right now I'm working to level him up. He's at 98. He's only got 1 more level to go. Checking his info, he's got to go to level 99 is max. I got 1 more level, a couple more to level him up, and then I can evolve him. Then once he's done evolving, then I usually take him out of my favorite section. Then you got the non-set, which is basically just kind of a random non-set, you know. What you can also do here is you can choose to put guys into 2 types of boxes, box 1 and box 2. And this is your choice with how you want to do it. So all you would really do is you click on a guy, and there you go. This is where you would set it. If I click on that, I can choose box 1 or box 2, or he goes to non-set. Right? Everybody's has a non-set. They'll end up in both boxes, right? And you'll end up in all non-set and in my specific one box. So if I look here, you see her, Blazing. Blazing's in my, she's in my all. She'll also show up inside of, I think I have her set in, I have her set to box 1. So let's go ahead and check box 1, if I'm right. She's set to box 2. So I'll go and look in box 2. She's at the top again because I'm sorting my favorites. Then you have this one. These are auto boxes. They basically just put everything that has to do with certain stuff. So this one here is going to be all your evolutionary items. Stuff that are used to evolve your characters. Because each character, almost every character can evolve. So what happens is it puts them all in here. They'll also be available in my other sections as well. If you look around, the non-set, you'll see that they're also inside of my non-set as well. No, they're not in my non-set. So you have them all, and then you have the auto option here for this one. These ones are all my Tamadras. And this is your leveling up stuff. These are all for leveling up characters. Some of them are special items that you can't use for evolving. Most of this stuff is for leveling up my dragons and stuff here. Alright. So going back to the alt tab, and mind you, this video will be a little bit long and lengthy because we will be digging into these guys and explaining quite a bit about them. So let's just pull a character here. So one of the things we'll look, and we're going to just check if I can remove them from my favorites if I want, but I don't want to. There you'll see your sales price. Now if I was supposed to sell this guy, that's how much money I would get, and that's how much monster points I would get. Now monster points and cash will something we'll start to learn a little bit more in the actual shop section. Shop section will be explaining the monster points for you and what it does, so that'll be my next video I'll be working on. So the money part is at the top. Like I said, it's one of those things you have, but it's not something as dire, or it will become something you will need, but you usually don't run out of money. It's usually always there. So let's go dig into characters and look into them a little bit. So this is a standard page for a monster, and you'll see the name at the top with their actual number and the star ranking for them. That's the rarity. She's favorited. Type, she's a balance type and a devil type. Types are just used in the way of classing. Sometimes types actually help in regards to when it comes to attacking. It also comes with some of your skill values as well. Down the side you'll see awakens, right? So you have the type character, and then at the bottom you have how many of the card I have. I have one of her. There's her picture at the moment with the type her fighting attack, which is red. She's 2 types fire. You have her hit points, attack, and RCB, recovery. So one of the things you'll notice is she's flashing down here. And that part is basically because she has pluses added to the value of her regular attack. Then you have her levels, max levels, her cost to actually have her attached to my team. You got her skill. So her skill, basically the ninja art of light to fire. It changes light orbs to fire orbs. Level 1, as many turns as 9. And then you have the leader skill. And the leader skills performed as soon as she enters into battle. And the type for it. Let's pull up another guy. Let's go look a little bit deeper into somebody that doesn't got as much to look into. Let's take the next guy over. So let's go ahead and let's take her. Alright, so this is Herrera. So if you'll notice on her, she's a devil type and a god type. No awakens yet. Here's her ranking right there. She's a fire type first, and then she's a dark type after. So most of her attack will be based on her fire attribute before her dark attribute. So if she was, so basically, and don't quote me on the numbers, if she was supposed to attack at 10, it would be more of a 7-3, right? 7 being for the fire and 3 being the second attribute, which would be the dark. There's her hit points, which are her hit points at the moment, her attack, and then her RCV. And if you'll notice, she's at level 59, but she maxes her level at 99. Next level is going to be in 41,160 experience points. Well, no, I wouldn't say experience points. In next level in points. Those points are, you increase those points by feeding these characters dragons. Hence, puzzle and dragons. So every week, day of the week, they have a dragon dungeon that appears. So Monday is usually the dark, or the actual dark dragons that come out. That should be the purple ones, and you can feed them to people to increase their levels. Now the way, unfortunately, with this one here, I can feed her a dark dragon, but the only thing is that you will only get the value of the dark dragon. If I'm to feed her the actual red dragon, you would get the value plus extra, right? So it's better to feed them the dragons of their type than dragons that they're not, but of their different value, of a different type. You could, but the only problem is, like I said, you would lose that opportunity to get double the value. So at the very keep it going down, there's her cause tab or an entire part of a team, which will be going into team today. Her skill, and you'll see her level 1. The whole point of this level 1 is that you can keep raising the skill level. So level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and I'll show you some of the ones that are halfway or maxed. And what it does is it reduces your turn. Reducing the turn is basically for every attack is considered a turn, or every round is considered a turn when in a dungeon. And every time you finish or just go one round or one attack, you don't have to kill the guy, just an attack. Once you perform an attack, that goes down. So that will go down from 15 to 14, 14 to 13, 13 to 12. And as it goes down, you get closer and closer and closer to 0. Once it gets to 0, that attack becomes available. She now can use her skill. And then she'll be able to, you'll see her raise up a little bit in the battle inside of a dungeon and flash a bit. And then what you can do is you can perform this skill by clicking on her. And she will turn dark, fire and dark orbs will be enhanced. So they'll all be enhanced and will do more damage. If she was supposed to be my leader in a team, which we'll be going into teams today, she will automatically give 3 times attack for devil types. So her being a devil type would get 3 times attack on her regular attack of 1,442 instantly, no matter what she does. And if my whole team was all devil guys, all my devil guys would get 3 times attack on their attack. Now she's got a plus because what happens is if characters have pluses, you can feed them pluses to increase. It basically, you can do 99 of each level or each section. So if you can look at this guy here, she's already plussed out. You can do 99 of each stat, causing them to increase in the pluses. So that 99 value, and you'll see a yellow show up, gave her plus 990 to her hit points. So now her hit point value runs at 4,511. But if I was not to have added that 99 plus, she would not be at that level of hit points. You can give 99 to any character by feeding them plus characters. So if I was to go ahead and take this guy here, who has a +1 on hit points and a +1 on RCV, and feed that person, which I wouldn't do, to her, she would then receive the +1 on her HP and +1 on RCV. We could probably do that because I think I picked up a plus guy today. So let's go ahead and feed somebody, which we'll do when we get into the other sections. So that's basically how the whole entire character thing works. You may notice certain things about characters is sometimes they got these little stars in the corners, some of them have borders around them, some of them say assisting. The way it works is once you get down to these little awakens, so let's say here, you see how she's got a green 4? So the green 4 means is that those awakens on the side, see how 4 of them are bright? She has 4 awakens unlocked already. 4 more to unlock, and then she would actually end up having either a gold star or a green star. The way it works between the gold and the green is gold characters can do what's called assisting. Green stars cannot. You do have to finish unlocking all your awakens for it to become a star. So like this character here, I think she can perform the ability of assisting, but I'd have to unlock all of the awakens first. And once you unlock them, then it will be determined by the color of the star if they can awaken or be used as an assistant or not. Assistant is this border. So basically this character right now, they have all their awakens already, which is great, but I have an assistant attached to this character. An assistant is her. So basically what happens is I have my character right now who has a skill level which is maxed out, cost of 50, got all maxed out on my levels, got all my awakens ready to go, and they have an attack here that will automatically kick in at 15 rounds. So after 15 rounds, this character's attack will kick in. Their attack is going to be adding 2 combos for 1 turn, other allies charged by 2. charged by 2 basically means that their skill would go down a bit. So if I was to use that and I was at 15, everybody else was at 15, everybody would go down to 13. All right. Now I have added a character which is called an assist, which is this skill 2. This skill 2 belongs to her. All right. So you can see hers, or awake. See it right here. That skill belongs to her. She has got her skill max. She's at max level for her and max for skill. So her skill is at max, so she can perform it in 10 turns. If you notice, it says 25. The reason it says 25 is because first I have to hit 15, which will then initiate his turn, and then 10 more, which was hers. 10 more to be able to go ahead and initiate her turn. So technically it would be 25 from the beginning round to be able to initiate her turn. So if I was supposed to get this guy to down to maybe level 3, level 5, he would drop to, let's say he dropped to 13. Then this person would be 23 to get to that turn. So the way the whole entire skill assist works is that you add the skill to the person, and you also, if they are of the same type, so she is a fire type, and it has to be main type. If she was actually mainly dark, partly fire, she would not get this guy would not get the assist of it in regards to stats. But because they're both of the same type, you get these blue stats. So this person has 99 in both the hit points and attack, so they're maxed out, as you can see right here. But you see the blue ones? The blue ones are coming from her. So they're giving some of her hit points, attack, and RCV to this character, as well as allowing them to have the skill. Alright? Hope that explains it in a little bit more. And mind you, if there's certain things that you did not understand or parts that I left out while going through this monster tab, feel free and leave me a comment. I will go ahead and I'll do another video, or I'll reply to it. I'll go into a little bit more detail in some of the areas which I may have missed, or areas that you figure are still a little bit confusing. But the monster box is pretty simple. It's just a box which has everything. The amount of cards that you have in the corner. So I have 982, and the most I can have is 990, which I can increase. I will just have to go into my shop section and increase my capacity. But it does cost me an egg. Alright? So with the monster box said, let's go into the actual next one up, which would be Sell Monster. Sell Monster is something that, like I said, until we get to the shop section, it's not going to make too much sense to you unless you play the game already. But basically what you can do is you can sell your monsters. You'll notice that these guys are all shaded in, meaning I can't sell them because, one, they're all my favorites. You can't do anything with any character if he's your favorited. Favorited base pretty much locks him off from selling them, from trading them, from doing anything with them. I would have to take the favorite off before I could do anything with that character, other than leveling them up and adding awakens. So let's say you got a bunch of guys here. And let's say if I wanted to go ahead and get rid of one person, all you do is you go to the sell section, you click on them, and they will tell you at the bottom what they're worth. So this person here, total sales are going to be $135, and I'm going to get 1 monster point. Well, no point. Monster points, they come in handy, but I'm telling you, it's not worth it if you're going to get 1 monster point for it. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. He's a pretty rare guy, right? So look at his stats. So he's going to give me 20 monster points, and a total cost of 720. Remember, we're in the actual monster box tab, and if you looked at the monster box, we're able to tell that by just looking at him. So we clicked on him. Set price 720, monster points 20. So there you go. If you not even want to sell them, you can even take a look at it from the regular monster box tab. So like I said, that's your selling option. All you simply do is you pick the guy that you want to sell. You can pick a couple of guys if you want, and then you would click OK. And there's what it comes up to. I'm going to look at 6 guys. I'm getting 6 monster points, 2,320 points, which is not anything to me. I don't do a lot of selling unless I got a lot of extra guys just sitting around and I don't want them. The next tab up is the Manage Assist. So this is the part where I was talking about having the assistant added to a character. Assisting is a very easy thing. All you got to do is you can add an assistant to anybody. You just can't have anybody as an assist, right? So I can grab anybody, the weakest guy here, select him. He's like, okay, no problem. You want to add a guy to him? you can only use monster that have this icon in front of it, right? So if I click select, it's now going to show me all the ones I put all my guys in box 2 that are assist capable. There are a couple guys I cram in here just because I like having them in there, doing some work on them. But most of the guys that are in this section are assistable, right? It sorts it out. So my box, the way I have it sorted is box number 2 are all my guys that I can assist with, and box number 1 are all my guys that have duplicate forms. So these 2 guys are actually Green Odins. They all originated from the original Green Odin, but when I got to a certain point, I can go 2 different ways because they can evolve differently. And that character had 2 different versions of him. And so I put him in this box so that this way if I find another Green Odin, I would then turn around and I would evolve both of them so I have 2 different types of them. Because this one is going to be a Green Odin, but if you notice him, he's a Green Odin with primary green and then also a light as a second attribute. Or this Green Odin is 100% fully green. And you'll notice some of the awakens are different between the 2. And you know, it comes in handy because I use them differently, right? And if you can see at the bottom, they have these hidden awakens. Hidden awaken, basically you have 5 that you can add per character, and then all you have to do is you have to implement them. And you'll see that you get extra pluses for having those extra awakens added into there, right? So that's my Green Odin. Let's go back to the main box. Let's see if I can find anybody in here, sorting by faves, that's got dual options. You know what? We'll go into the other section. We'll do that. So let's go. We're going to put in a sister. Who do we want? Now, let's go ahead and take her. So when you go into the assist option, it's going to say, hey, this is what it's going to cost you to do this assist. This is what it's going to look like after the assist available. The border is going to be around them, and I'll have these 2 skills and the joint amount of skills for the 2 of them. Right? If you notice, there is no change in the stats because what happens is she is going to be her main attack is light, he is not, and therefore there will be no stats transferred over. Now, if I was supposed to use him as an assist, you will notice that the stats will change because he's also a water type. So I will get both. There's my new guy, and that's what he come up to. If I click assist, the assist would be added to the character. They would charge me the amount. The assists are not permanent. I can always remove an assist by doing the same thing. So just go into the assist option and go pick a guy that already has an assist. I select, and it's going to say, hey, you want to remove this? There's hit points that are now going to drop because I'm going to remove this guy. And then he would not be assisting, which I don't want to do because I like having the 2 of them together. The only thing is, if I have that person as an assist, as you see, as they're assisting, I cannot use them in battle. So I cannot add them to a team because they're now part of an assist. They're basically just sitting in the background. Then they can stay there, part of my box count, but they're not able to fight anymore alone, unless I remove them from the assist option. So that's pretty much explaining assist. Assist is it's not a hard topic. It's just one of those things, and it comes in handy. The best way to do an assist is always to assist with a guy with the same type, so you get the boosting of increase. But sometimes you might just want to assist for a certain reason, just because they give you something special. Now, one of the things they just recently added to assisting is this option here, and these are special characters that you can actually use to assist. And basically, when they evolve to this, they will actually give that character extra awakens. There's only a couple characters that do this, and they've been rolling out a new one. This is something that just started recently, but you basically evolve them into a special item. Now, the only thing is, once again, you cannot reverse the evolving of the character, and they cannot be used as a battle. Even if I was to take them off of being an assistant, they would not be used. So I've actually added this option to this character here. So if you can see, I've added the fan in here. They're now assisting. I still get to use their skill, and I can still upgrade this person's skill level, because right now it's a level 1. I can max it out, because right now it's 14. I'm actually working on that right now just to bring it down. So I've added it to this character because I've noticed this is one of the characters I use the most. She's amazing. God type I got from the God Fest. Double type and attack type. One of my personal favorites. The amount of plus. So these here basically make hearts, RCV, hearts as they use for RCVs, appear more often. So when I have her in there, I get a lot more hearts on the board, which makes it easier to heal. She then gets a 2-time attack, which is called a prong attack. This is a skill up and a skill resistant. So basically, when she goes in, this one skill up is going to basically immediately bring her to 4. Everybody would go up 1 because of this. So anybody that's on the board, so if you got 5 of these characters on the board, everybody would drop 5. So right there, if I had 5 of these, she would start the battle off with her skill active. I've also added this because what happens is it gives an attack boost when you have a match row of water attacks. These two here are using against jammers and bomb attacks. My team is always getting attacked by jammers and bombs. So I've added this to her because this way now it gives me a 20% here, 20% here. I got a 40% chance of not being hit by these jammers or by bomb attacks, which is handy. So I got that part of my team. It really comes in handy, and then I got the extra attack for her, which is just an extra boost, which is great. She already has a couple extra attacks down here, so that's great. So that that adds to her attack power. And then I also got this one, which is also awakened for skill delay. So this one here is called a skill delay, and so this may have a skill won't block a skill attack, and this is also a skill delay. So this one will block it, and so will this one here. So basically, I have 2 chances of reducing a skill attack on me. If somebody was to come in and automatically, there are monsters that will try to reduce your skill when you're in battle. They'll throw out an attack, well, that will basically bring your skill back down a bit. These 2 will help me out. With that being said, this is pretty much my character here. Let's go back. And this is basically the Awaken section. There's not much more to it. Like I said, if I missed something, please put it in the comment, and I will go through it a little bit deeper, and I'll answer a couple of your questions. The next tab is going to be Evolutions and Ultimate Evolutions. So the Evolution, Ultimate Evolution, as you know, the box changed a bit when I click there. You'll see these little tabs beside it going up and down. Where if we went to the regular box, those tabs did not exist. So the Evolution tab, and I'm in the All tab right now, so then sorted by favorites. You'll notice that it says up. So basically what up means, if I click on that person and I select, I can evolve up or blue evolve down. Down bringing me it's a de-evolution, so bring her back down to her previous form. Not all characters can do that. Or I can up her to an assistant evil. The assistant evil was exactly like that blue fan that I had in the other one. Basically, it would give these stats to my character I have. Now, I haven't done this because the only thing I would get would be enhance on fire attack or bind from a blind attack. And one of the characters that I use regularly has that against blind attacks, and I'm pretty okay with dealing with blind attacks. And there's an extra attack, so this character, evolving this character, really doesn't benefit me because I will never use her as an assist to any of my characters. So I'm kind of left her there. I don't know what I'm going to do with her yet. I don't know if I'll make another team with her. You never know. You just kind of meet characters and build your characters up. And sometimes you don't know what you want to do with them. You just kind of hang them on to them and figure out maybe later on something becomes available that you might need to use them for. As you can see, this guy here, he's all ready to go. He's at 99. That's why I said I'm working on him, because he can actually evolve. And I do have the actual characters to evolve them with. So to evolve them, you do have to have these items that they put in front of you. And if I was to select that right now, he would evolve. Now the only thing is, and you notice he's going to go from being a single type of fire to an actual dual type of fire and dark. The only reason I haven't is I want to level them up completely, so I need just a little bit more to get this person completely leveled up. Once again, this guy will do when you select him, it gives you the actual assistant evolve, which I'm not interested in doing that for him. And like I said, all these characters here I'm working on. Some of them I keep them just because they're parts of an evolve. And so a couple of characters, one of the ones I'm actually working on right now. And he's about ready to go up. So we select him. I got all the pieces for him. Just need to level him up. One of the things you'll notice is that if you can click on some of the characters, you may not have all the pieces for them. So this is a guy I've been working on for a while. I don't even got any of his pieces yet. If you see, none of them are highlighted. I don't have any of the pieces for him yet. but I can devolve him, which I don't want to do. But let's go see. I think I have one of the pieces. So yeah, so if you look at her, I have 3 pieces already. I need 2 more pieces to be able to evolve her. I mean, I could evolve her when I get the 3 pieces, but I'm going to wait until I get all the pieces for her before I evolve her. And she'll put on a couple of awakens there. Yeah, so she gets a couple of extra awakens as a new form. But yeah, I'm going to be working on her. I'm going to get her up to her level, and then I will start working on getting her evolved as well. So that is your evolution section. It's pretty much just evolving your characters. This guy actually has 3 different states. Oh, this guy's got the one. This guy here. There you go. So he has 3 different types of evolutions that he can actually perform. This one I already have, so if I click on it, you'll see I got 1 card, so I wouldn't bother doing that evolution because I got him already. This guy I don't have, 0 cards, and this guy I also don't have 0 cards. Need a couple more guys to be able to complete the evolution for these guys, which I've been trying to dig up for a while, so hopefully I'll be able to pull it off sooner or later. So that's pretty much the evolution section. There's not much to tell you about it. We'll go back. And so power up infusion. Power up infusion is pretty much just adding awakens, getting more awakens, or just leveling up your characters. So the way that it works is for you to add an awaken to a character. So let's go look at this character here. As you can tell right now, he has no awakens. For you to get them to add an awaken, what you got to do is you have to feed them evolved versions of Tremadras. So these are baby Tremadras. You have to feed them the actual mother version. So let's go back into evolution. And if I clicked on my Tremadra, that is the evolved form of a Tremadra. So this is what you need to actually add an awaken to any one of your monsters. I can actually evolve them if I have the right pieces, which I don't have at the moment. Sometimes you get them free in mailboxes. I know right now they actually have a Tremadra Fest going on. Let's see if I can pull off a nice gold Tremadra. And we'll be explaining this whole entire machine later. There we go. Lucky catch. Got a Tremadra for the video. So that's a Tremadra right there. So basically what we can do is we're going to go back to the power up infusion section. To my alt tab. And let's see, what guy was I working on recently? I was trying to get some of my guys evolved a little bit. Let's pick a guy that we can go ahead and play with. So I'll go in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an awaken to a character that's not fully awakened yet. And fully awakened, like I said, are those numbers. So here's the guy right now. So he needs 2 more to get a full awaken, right? So I have 1. I can feed him 1 to kind of get him cool in there. And that's pretty much it. This guy here, he's got 3 to go before he gets anywhere. So let's go ahead and feed him that extra 1 and bring him closer to being all he can be. You know what? I'm actually gonna go here. She needs it quite a bit. Actually, I can't even use her at the moment anyways. So let's not use her because she's an assist. So even if I was to give her all of her awakens, it wouldn't make a difference because at the end of the day, she's an assist. I will not be using her to battle at all. She'll be stuck behind that guy. Let's go back to the other guy. So there we go. Where is he here? So he has 7. Alright, so let's go ahead and click on him. And with that being said, we're going to give him 1 more awaken. We're going to grab a Tremadra. And then by adding that Tremadra to him, his awakens, he will then be awakened. So that should open up that green one right there. And then add. And infuse him. There you go. So now he's awakened. So if we go into him now and we look at him, that green one is open. 1 more and then he will get his star. May it be a green star, may it be a gold star. At this moment I could not tell. I could go on a website and actually check if I wanted to find out if he has the assisting ability, and that will determine what type of star he'll actually get. Now one of the things you can also do is you can also actually feed him monsters of the same type of skill. you don't actually have to use use the Tamadras. If you can find a monster with the same type of skill, you can feed them to him. So if I was supposed to take this guy here, right, or this guy, and feed him to him, he would then automatically, well, he has all his awakens open, but he may have a chance of unlocking his awaken. It doesn't happen all the time. It's kind of a roll over the dice, but there's a possibility of it. He doesn't have to be this guy, the same type of guy. There are guys that share the same type of skill, and they're different characters. Sometimes you'll find like these little light characters actually show the same skill as some of these more powerful characters. And then what you do is you can farm them. If you ever find a dungeon that's running that has these characters available that you can get easily, and then you just feed them to these more powerful characters, and you can skill them up really fast. I did that with these guys. I found there was a little light guy that I saw, and he was just popping up in a dungeon. I just grabbed so many of them and just kept feeding them to her. Not all of them unlocked awakens, but eventually I had enough to unlock all of her awakens. So let's come out of this box here. The last box is the team box. So we'll be going to the team box, explain the team section a little bit, and then after that we're going to go and just look a little bit deeper at the actual monster box itself and the different parts of the monster box. So here is your team section. You'll notice that I have 8 teams. That's 1 out of 8, and going on forward. One thing you'll notice about the team section is you'll have a cost. Or well, you'll have a little box at the top, right? The way the box, and you notice they're all different. The way the box works is you can get different options, and these things you acquire using your quests at the top to perform them, right? You can actually add a different type of thing to your team. This one here increases my max team cost by 100 points. This one here extends my move times by 1 second. This is my favorite. It allows attacks becomes massive attacks, and this one increases your team's HRCV by 25%. I usually go with this one, but if you notice this team is blank, I don't use this team. And these, like I said, these ones here, you can get them in the quest section. You complete a certain quest and it will unlock this ability that will be then given to you when you get to a certain ranking in the game. Now if you notice my team is blank. The reason the team is blank is because there are certain leaders that if you actually you leave guys in the leaders, other teammates can use them as extra opponents when playing. So whenever you pick a game, or as a friend. So whenever you actually start a dungeon, you'll get your regular guys, my leader, my 4 guys, and I get to choose a friend at the very end. That friend is usually either one of the first 2 the leader of the first 2 teams. So kind of weird, but I'll explain it to you. If you look, there's a little red tab and a little blue tab, and the team I'm using right now is this one, so it has a green tab. So basically, if you were a friend of mine, you would be able to see the guys under those tabs. So I want to do this really quickly. I'll show you. We'll go into a dungeon, and we're just going to take a quick look at it. We'll go into a normal dungeon. I'm just grabbing anything random. This makes no sense. Oh, here we go. If you notice, he's my best friend. So I can see what leader he has in the blue, what leader he has in the green, and what leader he has in the red. Green is the lead team he is using at the moment. Blue and red are the first two teams. Now these guys are my friends. I can only see the red and the green. For me to see the blue triangle, they have to be best friends. And that's why I said if you have a best friend with somebody, then you can see 3 guys that they have. Where if the other guys are just friends, you only get the green and the red. You see all my green and reds down here? So best friends are blue, green and reds are the rest. Let's go back to the monster box, go back to the team. So as you can see, right now I was using this team, so my green square just went over here. You notice it went over here before it's gone, because I was about to start a dungeon using that team. So now my guys out there are seeing this guy and this guy. My friend is seeing this guy, but everybody else, they're only seeing this guy. But once I start another dungeon, let's go ahead and let's back to dungeon again. And I'm just showing you how this works. Once again, do something stupid. Picking, let's say, anybody here. Grab him, why not? And let's say I'm going to move my team all the way down to my very last team here. And then I'm not even gonna enter. Let's just go back to the monster box now. You notice the green team is right here, my very last team, 8 of 8, and the green's down there. And if I go back to the beginning, the green moved. So the green is the character, the leader of the character that you're using at the moment. So I always, as my friends will always see this guy because he's one of my main characters that I use in almost all my teams, as you can see. And then for my best friend, he gets this guy. I let him have this guy if he ever wants to use him. And this guy is shown to everybody else. So like I said, I keep these around just in case. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch it up a bit. I haven't done this in a while. Let's go ahead and edit this team. Right? So the way you can edit the team is pretty simple. You can click here and select all at once. So I can just take him out, or put somebody in. It's up to me. And then just kind of go 1, 2, click on the box, choose the next guy, click on the box, choose the next guy, and add them. Or I could just click on that one box. That's just going to give me that one box character. And as you'll notice at the very bottom, you will see your stats. So this guy is an RCV character. The reason I usually keep him here is because what he does is he gives us some crazy RCV. His attack is weak, his RCV is amazing. So basically, this guy here, you add him to your team. If you take out some damage, all you need to do is line up a couple of hearts, and this guy is going to increase your health so rapidly. The only thing is, his strength is very weak. And if you can see this one, so her now, her RCV is only 292, her attack is 2100, and she has 2100 for a yellow, and her blue attack is only 7. So like I told you, she's going to be more based on her actual light attack than she will on her blue attack. And you see nobody else is in the team, so there's nothing else. There's a hit point, total hit points, so she gets 3,485 hit points, and her cost. Her cost is 70. Over here, his cost is 99, and this points is 25. It's 20,502. She does have a bit of red, so she's getting the 291 on red and the 871 off the yellow. Right? Now, if we look at a built team, this is my regular team here. This is my go-to. You'll see it's a two-tone team. So basically, I base it on red and blue. Right? So our cost is 302. So I do have an extra 80, another 70 something if I wanted to, and sure another 82. If I wanted to add another 82, I could. If I have a cost value of 82, I can add it. The hit point is 21,848. The attack value is 10,752 for fire. I use mainly fire on this team. This is a fire-based team. So basically, I use mainly fire. And then right here, I got my RCVs of 3,457. Not too bad. It's my trickster that does that. And then 5,318 for the blue, if I want to do a blue attack. Green, purple, and yellow, I don't use them. Because if I do, I get nothing for them. Leader skill will be my leader skill of my guy right here. The reason I use this team is because he has an attack of ×5 for fire attack. So every single attack, this is a whole base attack, these guys all together, these guys accumulate 10,000 in regards to my red. So every time I attack with red, I'm going to get 5 times 10,752. So I'm getting 50,000 hit point attack every time I drop a line of balls. Alright? Then I also have the extended orb time by 2 seconds. So I get an extra 2 seconds extended. I'm going to just kind of show you what my team looks like a little bit here. So I get the two hearts right here. So basically, the increases the chance of hearts coming. I get the 1 skill up, which is a great attribute. So, like I told you before, the 1 skill up comes in handy when reducing your skill when entering the board. So right there, I got 1. That's going to drop him down to 14. I got still resistance, just in case someone tries to attack me. I can deal with 1 of resistance right there. And I got another one there, so I can deal with 2. So if you were to hit me with a 2 skill resistance or skill 2 bind, it would not affect me. If you went with 3, I lose 1. Because I can only absorb 2. A little extra attack to boost the attack, why not? You're doing ×5. There's the ability right there. I'm getting a bit of an increase from this guy, so he's giving me a bit of the blue there, a little bit on the HP, a little bit on the HP, a little bit on the attack. You can see in the blue. I'm also getting some of my yellows here, which are coming off these guys, and a bit of the green. The green is, so these 3 attacks are giving me 83 on the attack portion. max level. Level 1 is the max. Well, it's maxed out. I can't go any higher than that. Cost value of 99. And I gotta get a max for the first skill. And the skill for this person is 5 times attack for fire attack for 1 turn, and other allies charged by 2. So not only am I reducing my guys by 2 when I use this guy, but I'm also getting myself another 5 times attack on top of my 5 times attack. So you can understand how much damage this guy does. And this is why I use that single time team. This is a great guy to have, very hard to find though. He evolves from actually an egg. The next 2 guys I use, and then this one here, and this is a god type. I have 2 of them. The reason I do that is because I run this team, and this team uses, what I have is she's mainly red, but also has the blue portion to it, so she's getting that 5 times attack. They have what's called these 2 prongs, right? And basically the way the 2 prongs work is every time I get 4 balls, I get another, if I'm correct, it's a 0.5 of my to that attack. So 1.5 attack for every one of these prong attacks. So I got 4 of them. And not only does she got 4, so does my other girl got 4. So she's getting the 5 times attack for red, plus the 1.5 for each one of the prongs. On both guys. Damage when it comes to red. That's a 2 skill bind, 2 skill increase, and the time delay. So not only do I have I already have a time delay because of the ready guy for 2 seconds, I'm getting an extra time delay from her, and an extra time delay from her. Plus the 2 skill ups when entering the board. So now I have 1 skill up from my main guy, 2 from each one of these guys. That's a 5 skill up. That means she's ready in 4 turns and she's ready to go. So she's another great one to have. She's also pretty strong. Great hit points. She's got great hit points. She's got great attack. 21. RCB is not too bad. She's a great asset. And her skill here is that she actually changes wood and light orbs to fire orbs and heal orbs. So, and slightly likely to appear, and or heal orbs are slightly likely to appear for 2 turns, right? So they change. So it's wood and light for fire, and then wood orbs are heart orbs are slightly likely to appear for 2 turns. So I get a chance of bringing in these heart orbs more frequently. Plus it changes all my green and my light, my grass and my light orbs to fire. So now they've just changed more of my board to fire. Plus I'm getting a boost from my prongs and my main character with that fire attack. Deadly. Next character, I'll just jump over to this one here. She's my trickster. Comes in handy. Helps me out when they try to blind me, using a blind attack on me. A little bit of RCB, great, and a little bit of attack. Not bad. She's my trickster. She's the reason I keep her around. She's a girl you can find in a regular dungeon. And she has a delay. So she has an enemy delay of 3 turns. One of the best things that come in handy with her is that I can automatically delay a guy 3 turns. And I can, that is going to be for 3 turns. And I can take some damage on them for a while. So if I know that they're giving me a problem, I can use that and attack the person with that, and then I can get 3 turns to kind of take them out. Only thing is this, if they have any type of defense or shield, that attack will not work against them. So you have to make sure that you don't use it in a round where they have the shield up. I got the skill binds in here, so I got 3. So I use her with 3 just so that basically, if you try to hit me with 3, it's not going to hurt me. I can turn around and hit you back with a 3 delay, and then still pound you with some fire attacks to knock you out. A little bit of helping with my ball movement, so it slows down my time a bit. Cost is pretty low. She's a great guy to have. Find one of these, get one. They have a pixie one for though, and I'm dying to get my hands on another one of these girls so I can evolve that pixie version, because she ends up getting an actual another skill up, which would help me out dramatically. Because right now, I told you I got 2 here, I got 2 here, 1 there, 5. Having another one would make 6, would be great. But otherwise, I have her. She gives me an extra one, so I got my 2, my 4, my 5, my 6. The other one, I do need some more so that I can jump into battle. But right there, that's my 5. So as soon as she jumps into battle, first round, she's ready to go. And she's basically a healer. So she changes the second row to all hearts. Plus she already has a bunch of plus hearts to show up. So immediately I have someone to bat me up, just in case I get pounded off the bat. She can heal really quickly. I always use her to keep me just in case I need a heal. She has a second one that I've added now, which is now that dark, which is changing the dark orbs to water orbs, which comes in handy after 14 rounds. I'm not going to change them. I'll leave it at 14. I like to keep my healer available whenever I need to heal. But now this whole entire poison one bind against jammers and bombs, this is going to come in handy for her. So she's now become a real major part of my team now with this new added assist I just added today. The only thing I'm going to add to her is one more attack to help me out, or if I get a skill reduce, that would even help out so that they can't reduce me too much. I'm not really worried about a skill reduce. I actually would rather have an attack on her, which would be great. Her RCBs are not that high, 341, which is okay for an RCB. She's pretty much set the way she is, and I'm cool with that. That's pretty much my team, which gives me makes it the way I want. I am being able to go in a battle, just hitting everybody with fire and with fire and water attacks. I usually end up partnering up with one of my guys that has this guy then again. So I'm getting a 5 times on one side, a 5 times on the next side, and then if I turn around and use this skill, another 5 times. And I'm usually able to take guys out pretty fast with that. I'm not a great ball mover, but once I got a lot of them lined up, you can do some really bad damage to people. So these are my teams. Basically, I just set them up differently because certain dungeons I can only have 3 guys, so I'll use that team. Certain dungeons you can only have 4 guys, so I'll use that team. Certain dungeons require that I can't use 2 of the same guys. So I'm starting to build this guy up to join as my second, so my next team that I can't use duplicate characters because there are some restrictions to certain dungeons. This is my all-color team, which we're going to change. I'm actually working on a second version of it here. But it's an all-color team. Where basically have every single color, because certain dungeons will say you have to have 1 of each color in there to actually participate. And then, like I said, the guys I leave for my friends to play with. So that is teams, right? Like I said, we're going to jump back into Monster Box just to look at a couple of quick things, and then we're going to end this video because it's getting pretty lengthy and I'm not falling asleep, but hey, you never know where you are at this moment. So with this one here, we're just going to look into some of the little aspects of the game, more the filtering section and stuff like that. So like I said, filtering by favorite, it basically filters the favorites to the top. Filtering by characters, it basically would show you the characters as I got them. So that's my very first guy, all the way to the very bottom, where these are the guys I just got recently. Alright? Filtering based on fusion, these are the fusion numbers. And there's a number of fusions that apply to each character. I don't usually use it. Certain by attack. As you can see, he's my strongest guy. 386. Second stronger. And who am I using on my team? Exactly, you're seeing at the top. Then you got hit points. Who's got the most amount of hit points? This guy. I think that's Satan. Is it Satan? Yeah, Satan. Great guy to have. 66 hit points, but look at the RCV. You ain't never healing with Satan. Satan will just eat all your health. Like, you can never heal with Satan. So I do use this guy because he's got 6,906, so he's part of my second team base. RCV, as you can see, my yellow guy comes up at the top. He's one of the strongest ones when it comes to RCV. And my trickster who comes in next. But this guy has double my trickster, man. But the only, like I said, my trickster at least got the better stuff that I can use him for. Sorting by level. So there's all the level sorting. Mostly all the maxes at the top and going all the way down. Sorting by cost. So this is my cost sort. So basically it's sorting by, we're going back to the cliff level, going to cost. So there's my level by cost sort. Basically what it costs to have these guys as part of my team. You got 100, 70. I mean, it's if you really want to sort by cost. There's your rare, sorting by your rare. So your rare number, you can use that if you prefer. My attack, ATT, sorry. So sorted by ATT. Sorted by type. So as you can see, the 2 types here, it's going to be sorting them all by the types, starting off with all dragons and god types and going straight down. Some of them have 3 types. Sorting by pluses. So these are all my guys. If I ever wanted to figure out who do I need to add pluses to, or I want to find somebody that has pluses, as you can see, maxed out on pluses. plus 2. This actually shows you where they have the pluses, what's missing in regards to pluses. When you see them like that, plus 297, that means they're maxed out on their pluses already. There's nothing more you can give these guys. But some of them are still lacking, so I'm still building this guy's pluses. I still got a little bit more to go on him. These two guys are not there yet. You can go by sub A, sorting by sub A. Go sorting by assistant. So these are all guys there, they're assistant. Alright, we'll go on to the next one, sorted by awakens. All the guys that have all their awakens open here. You can see they're all started out of these guys and go down. Sorted by monster points. Now this is the monster point value if you were to sell them, which don't ever recommend selling your good guys for monster points. Monster points is just, if you really need them, just get them in dungeons to sell stupid guys, or you get them sometimes free during certain dungeons and stuff or events. Like I said, you will look into monster points when we get down to the shop tab. Skill, there's your skill level. Sorts by skill level. Wrong box. And evolution value. Evolution value is basically the value that would be added to the character if I was supposed to feed that person to him. So these little guys here at the top, they're the best. The globes are the best. If you want to level somebody up really fast, use a globe. And imagine if you're using him to the green guy, he gets even more extra levels, extra points for it, or EV value. Like most of these guys are pretty rare. I would never feed a rare guy, but these globes, you get them pretty often. They come in whenever you get them. If you have a guy you need to level them up really quick, use a globe on him. But I usually wait till you get into a guy that's in the last part of their evolution, where eating a lot of EVs, of extra experience points. That is the best time to use your globes. Don't use them at the beginning, you'll waste so much of it. One of the things you'll notice, and that's it, let's go back to Fab, is but you'll notice when you're actually doing a level up. So let's go ahead and I'll show you. We're gonna go back to that the power up section, right? Go into the first tab. Let's pick a guy that I know is pretty close to his full level of EV. So let's choose, and we're not going to do this, I just want to show you what it looks like. Hunter. So he's got to go to 99, right? So let's say I choose him. Now I'm supposed to go in here and grab myself a globe. Grab a red globe. Red globe is going to offer me 2.6. Alright? If you notice, he'll go up to level 83. Alright? With that guy. Now let's say if I was to go and give him an actual one of the same color. If you notice, he is now hitting his full level of 99, and the excess points would actually be 512,000 because he's getting extra for using this guy. Remember when we went and we can find them all in the Opera tab right down here. Let's go and look at the actual just monster point, the monster box, last tab. And let's sort by the actual experience value. If you notice the experience, well, there's a little bit of change in the experience value, but it was not what they said when we added them. You got extra for adding them in there because he was of the same type. Let's go ahead and play a little bit more with the monster box. So as I said, we were just looking at the sorting options again. So the sorting, like I said, this one was actually pretty self-explanatory. The filter one. So these are actually all the types that you can use. Pretty self-explanatory. So let's some of these wakens. That's what I wanted to show a bit of. And I'm going to try to explain them as much as I can. Not all of them I'm completely familiar with. The first couple here are resistance. So if you ever see a character that has these, you'll notice that basically means they have a resistance, not a complete resistance, but a portion of resistance to a certain type of attack. And what I mean by that is, like I said, when you actually go and you click on characters, you will see their awakens in the sides. Certain ones have the ability to do certain things. Alright? More balls, more plus balls will drop. Plus balls give you more of an attack. That doesn't have any awakens. No awakens on this character either. This one does. So here, match a row. So they have different types of things that you can have. So let's go back into filter and the awakens. So you have resistance, extra HP. This one is going to give the ability to, through assistance. It allows the character to absorb the awakens through the assistance portion, which I showed you earlier. This one gives you an increased possibility of plus balls dropping when it enhanced balls. So when enhanced balls drop, you get an extra attack by using the enhanced balls. You get extra attack with attack. These ones are if you match a row, you're gonna increase your attack amount. This is gonna give you extra hearts. These ones here are RCVs. So basically, what they do is they give you back some of your attack. All right. Sorry, it gives you back some health with an attack. All right. So let's go ahead and I'll show you one of the guys I have that has that. There he goes. He does. So recovers HP for each turn orbs are erased. So every time you erase an orb, you get some more back, or your HP back. So I got 4 of this guy. This is one of my first guys I used when I first started off. Got him from a Godfest. And basically what I have is he helps me out because whenever I do I release kill balls, not only do I can get RCVs, but these ones here give me extra HP on top. They're not a lot, but it gives you a little bit, which does help. And then I had a couple extra ones down at the bottom, which also helped me out. So every time I attacked, even if it wasn't with a heart in my attack, I would automatically, just a regular attack, I'd automatically get some health back, which comes in handy when you're dealing with some monsters that you just can't get any hearts to the board. My guy now just drops towards the hearts on the board frequently, so it comes in handy. But having that is actually great when you're starting off. So you got that one there. This one here is for blinding some people when you come into the battle. They'll actually make the whole board dark, so you couldn't see what ball is what. This one is for the poisons and for jammers and bombs. So it cuts the resistance off of jammers. Jammers are these like little spider things that show up that look exactly like that. And basically you have to line 3 of them to get rid of them. They don't do anything, but they just get in your way. Bombs, they drop on the board, and what happens is they eventually blow up, taking out everything in the area around it, and you do take damage. These ones are poison. Poison's a great one to get a defense against, because what happens is when they're on the screen, if you lined 3 of them up, you're taking damage from the poison, which is one I don't have at the moment. I would love to have poison as part of my team. I don't recall having poison as part of my team at the very moment. No. That is one I would love to have as part of my team, because I do get poison quite a bit, and I have not got I don't got a poison. That's one thing I'm going to have to end up adding. So going back to the monster box. One of the ones we were looking at was the this one here. So we're gonna go look into that. I got a character that does have that one in there, part of the monster box. Don't worry me if I'm moving around so fast. So there she has it. So match a row of heart orbs, reduces bind status by 3. So if you were hit with a bind status that frees you, and you lined up the orbs, you would be able to reduce the bind status by 3. So if you were bind by 10, you'd be dropped to 7. So that comes in handy as well if you want it, having it on a character, which one of my guys have at the moment. I used to have her as part of my team, and trust me, that bind status reduced helps, because when they bind you, man, it's annoying sometimes when it comes down to getting out of that bind. I kind of just wait it out, or just kind of fight my way out, or keep healing myself, because I got a healer, so it does help. So that's bind there. This increases your ball movement time, so you don't end up having so instead of having the regular time, it would increase it. Once again, for your skill, adding the skill up, the double prong, skill reduction, plus hearts are more likely to appear. This is for multiplayer mode. These are plus on certain types of attacks. So not only when you're fighting characters, because when you fight your characters on the board, the guys that you're fighting are actually guys in your box. So when you actually go into battle, you're actually going to be fighting characters that you may have, or characters that you may be able to catch, and they have the same types. So if I'm fighting this character in an actual dungeon, that character is a double attacker type. And if I have a character that has that ability that actually ends up doing more damage against that type, that is going to help. The ones at the bottom I'm not completely familiar with, which I'll go into a little bit more detail as I get to know them a little bit more on it. With all that, you just have these special sections here as well. Alright? So, I think that's the plus options. Plus options, if I'm correct. And plus options. Yeah, so this is basically just telling you what's the plus options are for my HP, plus options for my attack, plus options if I wanted to store plus my RCV. I'm not too familiar with the collabs, which are from the collabs. Evolvable, so it shows you which ones are evolvable and devolvable, which I usually check that in my regular stats section. So that gives you a better idea, a more in-depth look at the actual box and the way to navigate it, the way to put things together, the way to see it. Select the monster you wish, and you can move them into a box and send them. Like that's remote if you want to send them into another box. But pretty much this explains you in detail the monster box and the monster tab. I hope I've covered everything in this video. It's very lengthy, I know, but like I said, there is a lot to cover in this game, and the next tab will be the shop tab. So don't forget to subscribe so you get notified as soon as the shop tab video is up. And I'm telling you, we're gonna work our way down because I got some ideas for that whole trading feature. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. Don't forget to match those 3 balls and keep going. Enjoy the day, guys. Happy puzzling.